What's up, guys? Yeah, this is how much I love my channel. We're not doing voting right now, but I wanted to go live and talk about some things as far as maybe your team's going through some bad times, bad luck, whatever. West Virginia isn't going through any bad times, but dadgum, we have some bad timing and some bad luck. I know Georgia had some bad timing with George Pickens yesterday. He got injured. Um, he tore his ACL. He's going to have surgery. He'll probably miss the 2021 college football season. And I had Georgia as confidently had Georgia as a college football pick. I don't think that knocks them out of the conversation, but it definitely hurts, 100%. By the way, if you're actually in the car line and you see my bumper sticker, give me a honk, come by, give me a wave. Uh, Promise, super nice dude. Won't jump onto you. Won't make you be on camera either if you don't want to. But if you do want to be on camera, stop on by and I'll make it happen. So I'm in the car line. Today I have to. Okay, so here's my situation, guys. I am divorced. I have 2 kids from my previous marriage, and my current wife has 2 from her previous marriage. Now, I got custody of my 2 from the previous, and she has joint. So let's see, on Mondays and Thursdays, and today's a Thursday, I only pick up my 2 from my previous marriage. But on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I have to pick up 4 at 4 different locations. So today it's only 2. So I'll be back. That's why I'll be able to be back between right around 2:30, and we'll get that voting back on. So today I only have to pick up 2 kids. So I'll be back in the studio around 2:30, and we'll continue voting for ACC logos. Now, like I said, if you're in the car line, and you see my bumper sticker, it is on the back of my van. Give me a honk, give me a holler, give me a wave, whatever. Yeah, it's me. I'm here doing a live show in the car line of my son's elementary school here in Liberty, South Carolina. So yes, I am here. And we do have JoJo's in the house and Wisconsin Fan 100's in the house. So yeah, I just really enjoy, this channel is, it makes me happy. It does. Life makes me happy. My wife makes me happy. My children make me happy. But if I'm not doing anything, then, this channel is I could never, to me, it's not difficult. It's not a job. It's not like, oh man, I gotta get out a video. No, it's nothing like that. I literally enjoy doing this channel so much. You guys are awesome. I just reached 1,000. That's still not a lot, but I think I have probably the best subscriber base of anybody. You guys are super active, and you stop by whenever you can. Monk's Corner, where is that, JoJo? I don't even know what that is. I'm guessing it's a town. But if I have to give you an estimate, I'm actually near Clemson. I'm about 15 minutes away from Clemson, so I'm in the extreme northwest corner of South Carolina. I don't know where. I don't know where Monk's Corner is. But if it's near a city that I do know, then I would be able to tell you how close I am. But I am. Oh, it's on the coast. Okay. Huffer Billy says, Liberty is my old stomping grounds. Awesome. I just sold my lake property on Kiwi in Sunset, South Carolina about a month ago. Yeah, I actually used to live right off the lake, and my kids actually went to Kiwi Elementary School. So, yeah, I'm familiar with the Seneca, Kiwi area very well. I used to live in Walhalla there for a minute. But Liberty, yeah, it's near the coast. I got you now. People don't realize South Carolina it's not a big state, but it stretches. It has a coastline, and then you got the mountains. I'm towards the mountains, but still, it's only about a 4-hour drive to the coast. Sea Dog's in the house. So JoJo, that's the guy that super chatted Georgia into last place right off the bat. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just explaining what happened yesterday. JoJo wasn't too happy with you, Sea Dog, because you put Georgia in last place. I actually didn't. I didn't agree with that. I had Georgia probably, I think, top 5. I think, but I'm leaving it up to you guys. Yeah, because I'm a West Virginia fan, a lot of people think that I live in West Virginia, and I did live in West Virginia. I was born in West Virginia, but here's how my life has went as far as yeah, Sea Dog is really good people. He's like, I consider him a friend now. Like, I've met him in person at the Slobs. I made the mistake of waiting too late to get a hotel room for the Slob Olympics that happened a couple weeks ago, and dude let me crash in his room, so I didn't have to, grab a jacked up priced room. So yeah, I consider JoJo a friend. So basically, Texas football. Dadgummit, Scott. The start of this year's college football season is getting off to a rough start. I thought, people would get it figured out. Yeah, Sea Dog. I was actually on, I don't know if you watched the Lou show, I believe it was on Monday or Tuesday. I was on the Uncle Lou morning show on Tuesday, and we talked about Pigeon Forge. For me, the first 2 locations, Atlanta, 2-hour drive. Well, not even a 2-hour drive. Maybe just under. Pigeon Forge is only like a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour drive from here. So the first 2 locations are working out perfectly. So, but getting back to my story of, my moving from West Virginia to South Carolina. So basically, I was born in West Virginia, but the jobs are really, really rough up there. So my dad found a job here in South Carolina. We moved down here when I was 6. We moved back to West Virginia when I was, I believe, 10, because my grandpa died, and, we wanted to be around family. So, age 6, I moved to South Carolina. Age 10, I moved back to West Virginia. So, let's add up the years, all right? So, 6 to 4. 6 to 4 in favor of West Virginia. So, we moved back to West Virginia when I was 9. Well, then we moved back to South Carolina when I was, 13. Yeah, 13. So that was another 3 years for West Virginia. Now it's 9 to 4 in favor of West Virginia. Well, then we moved back to West Virginia when I was 24. Yeah, 24. So, that's 11 years. No, that's 10 years. So now it's in favor of South Carolina, 14 to 9. So at this time, I've lived in South Carolina 14 years and West Virginia 9 years. Well, then I moved back to South Carolina in 2012. So I was, dadgummit, 30? Yeah, 30. So I've lived in, basically the story is I've lived in South Carolina longer than West Virginia. Not by a whole lot, but by a significant margin, I guess. Yeah, so technically I guess you could call me a South Carolina guy. If you add it up, it's 3 and then 10 and then this current stint. So that's 13 and 11. That's 24 years of my life I've lived in South Carolina. And 11 I've lived in West Virginia. So yeah, by actually a significant margin, I've lived in South Carolina longer. So, yeah. Yeah, hit that like button. not to stroke my ego or make me feel good or anything like that. It just helps with the YouTube algorithm, get more people in here, get the conversation really rolling. So yeah, we got a lot. The cool thing, this is what I'm talking about right now. It's literally happening. You see it. The YouTube sports community. Everybody knows everybody. I think next year's Slob Olympics. I really think we could get 100 people there. I really do. I think it's going to be crazy next year. Because this year, I think Lou and Pete and BBD said they were expecting like maybe 6 to 8 people. And it turned out 18 people showed up. So that's... I said Jojo. Well, I think you're a friend too, Jojo. But yeah, as far as like a real life friend, yeah, Sea Dog. I would say Sea Dog. Sometimes I get on a roll with my conversations and I forget, names or whatever. But yeah, seriously. So Sea Dog says he's got an SEC logo video he's going to put out. So he's going to rank the SEC logos. I'll definitely check that out. I'm sure he disagrees. He'll probably have Georgia in last place. But I try my hardest to not be biased. I know if you watch the video, it probably looked like I was kind of biased because I had Pitt in last place in the ACC. But I was going by Script Pitt. And to me, Script Pitt is not original. It doesn't take any imagination, any effort. It's basically the word Pitt written in cursive. Even Block Pitt, not very good. The Pitt Panther itself, whenever they tried that, it looked like a panther that was getting petted or scolded or something. The ears were back and it was like, it wasn't fierce at all. I tell you who does do a panther good, and that's Georgia State. Their panther logo looks really good. FIU, their panther logo looks really good. Pittsburgh's attempt at a panther, and I promise you, I am keeping my emotions out of it. It does not look good to me. It looks like a cat that's almost scared, like hissing at you, like, get away, get away. Not like attacking, like, I'm going to get you. Your logo is supposed to be fierce, and a panther is fierce. And maybe Pitt can redo it and get a good one. But the version that they got out, not good. Penn State's Nittany Lion, good observation, Huffer Billy. Whenever I ranked the Big Ten, I had Penn State as number 1. Why? Because Penn State's logo, simple but effective. I honestly think it was basically they used the negative space to create the logo. You have basically, the blue circle, and they use the white negative space to create the eyes, the outline of the ear, the jawline. I think it's brilliant. I really do. I like Penn State's as the best logo in the Big Ten. Maybe by far. Right behind them, the Hawkeye. I think that was a genius. Whenever I look at these logos, I'm like, all right, what direction did they go with this logo? And with Iowa, they could have gone in a million different bad directions. Like a swooping hawk that looks cartoonish, or just the face, front face, too realistic. But that Hawkeye logo for Iowa isn't too realistic, but at the same time, it's not cartoonish. It looks like an actual logo. I don't think whenever you're creating a logo that you should get too detailed. Because to me, that's not really a logo. That's more like a drawing. To me, a logo should just be an emblem that you instantly recognize something by. Not when you see it, you're like, that could have been better, this and that. When I see the Iowa logo, I think it looks great. I really do. I think they did a good job. And Scott says, let's be real, cursive writing logos are not creative. That I agree. That's why, and I was consistent. It wasn't just Pitt, guys. Okay, so in the ACC, I did have Pitt last because of script cursive. But in the SEC, I also had Ole Miss last for the same reason. The Ole Miss logo that ESPN uses, I try to be consistent across the board. So I use the logos that ESPN uses, and the one they use is the cursive script Ole Miss. That's why Ole Miss was last place in the SEC. Now, in the Pac-12, Stanford was last place. It just looks bad. The block S with that funny looking tree, not good. But right above them, near last place, UCLA and Cal. Why? Cursive writing. That doesn't take much imagination or creativity. So it wasn't just Pitt. That's the point I'm trying to make. It wasn't just Pitt. It was everybody who decided to do their name in cursive or script or whatever. That's not unique. That's not imaginative. It's not creative. It's not anything. So I tried to keep the playing field level and judge on the same basis for each conference. So that's the best way I can explain it. The bet says Bama, the best logo, period. Disagree. Bama, the best football program, period. 100% agree. No doubt. But the thing that whenever I look at Alabama's logo, whether you go by just the A, which is the one that I use because that's what ESPN uses, or the A that has the circle with Alabama Crimson Tide, it's not a bad logo. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not the best. I think Florida's, that one looks great. And actually the comment section, whenever we did the SEC brackets yesterday, or seeding for the brackets, comments agreed with me. Florida, the best logo in the SEC. It is simple, but it's unique, it's fierce, it's creative, it's not cartoonish. I think it hits all the marks. The colors are really good. You have the Florida with natural colors in it, and then it's outlined in the Florida blue and orange circle. I think it's genius. Not even going to lie. And a lot of people disagreed with my pick for the ACC, and that was Miami. I think Miami's logo is brilliant. I mean, it is so simple, but still so unique. The color's perfect. Orange and green. That orange and green goes perfectly together. So yeah, I had Miami at first. And I'm seeing in the comments where people are saying, you don't like this team, you don't like that team. See, that's what I tried to avoid. I tried to make it to where my emotions didn't play a factor into it. Case in point, the Big 12. The team that I hate the most in the Big 12, Texas. But in my opinion, they have the best logo in the Big 12. That Longhorn is awesome. Not going to lie. As a logo, it's awesome. But at the same time, they did set themselves up for, they do hook 'em, and then you can do horns down. It's easy to, it's easy to throw it down. Now with Miami, they do the U. Well, if you throw the U down, then it looks like an M, and M would stand for Miami. So they kind of made it to where you can't really make fun of them either way you try. You're not really disrespecting Miami, but that's just how I think. So it is, whenever you do stuff like that, rankings like that, it is tough to keep emotion out of it, but I did my best to keep emotion out of it. But it does get pointed at that whenever I did the ACC, I had Pitt dead last. And I can understand how it looks that way. But if you look across the board, every single conference, whoever had that script cursive was at the bottom. Either dead last or next to dead last. So I was trying to be consistent about it. I don't think cursive, your team's name in cursive is very creative. I don't think that's a good logo. I think it's dumb. Remember whenever Duke had their script on their helmets? Lowercase, too. They had the lowercase d, and the rest, it was D-U-D-E in script, but the first D was lowercase. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. That's insane. Like, that's adding insult to injury right there. What do I do for a living? I'm what you would call a maintenance guy at a gas station. I work on things, but I also clean messes. So, it can get a little messy at times, but it's not a bad job. But y'all know me. Eventually, I would like to be able to quit that job. It's decent money. But I would still like to be able to quit that job and do YouTube full time once I make enough money. So hitting 1,000 subscribers, big deal, but I can't stop there. If I want to be able to do this full time, I got to keep growing this thing, keep making it bigger. And it's not about the money, but that is a means to get to where I want to be full time, and ultimate goal, go to as many college football venues as possible. I want to go to as many of those 130 stadiums as possible. I don't care how big, how small they are. I want to hit every single one. I want to meet the fan bases. I want to tailgate. I want to watch the football game, all that stuff. And unfortunately, in order to do all that stuff, you do have to make money. And another thing to add on to that is I would actually like to do like contests to where somebody can go with me. I get an extra ticket. You win a certain contest. You hang out with Golden Blue Dude and we go to a football game. So, stuff like that. Let's see. Long hail the house of Vanderbilt. Nice chant. Vanderbilt was kind of lower on the logos because it's basically a star with the V. It's not a bad logo, but I don't know, kind of boring. Let's see. Marshall's logo. It ranked kind of in the middle of the MAC. The MAC is all over the place. Some of their logos are overdone too much, but at the same time, you have some that are ridiculously Marshall's in Conference USA. Before you correct me, Marshall's in Conference USA. I realize that they were in the MAC. I was stuck back then. But yeah, Conference USA also has logos that are all over the place. I mean, you got Western Kentucky. Their logo is a hand waving a red towel. Any fan base can do that. Any fan base can do that. WVU Maryland. No, I am not going to that game, but I am going to the West Virginia Texas game, and I'm trying to get D4 Sports to go with me and whoever. Uncle Lou says he's going to go to a game with me. I don't know if he'll be able to this year, but he wants to experience the country road singing after a home win. So I will try to book a game where I know 100% will win. So, a home game against Kansas would pretty much guarantee that. Huffer Billy says we need to get GBD to Bobby Dodd night game and an Athens game. Yes, and don't forget a night game in LSU Stadium, the other Death Valley. That is definitely a must. Now, I live near Clemson, so I've been to plenty of Clemson games. It's awesome, but I need to do some more new stuff. And, of course, I've been to some West Virginia games. I've been to one Marshall game. I think that's it as far as college football games. So, yeah, I need some more experiences under my belt. Definitely. Mike Vick says the real Death Valley. I'm guessing you meant LSU because you're a Georgia fan, so you're SEC. Oh, Sea-Dog says he was in Athens when Georgia Tech beat Georgia in 2016. That was not that long ago. Wow. I thought Georgia was like on a 10-game winning streak against Tech. Yeah, Marshall has a tragic story, and they made that movie We Are Marshall. But as a whole, their fan base is a little delusional. They kind of act like they're our rivals, and they are no such thing. We are 12-0 against Marshall in football. And, yeah, that's not a rival. That's just being little brother. That's being an annoying little brother. But yeah, it was a sad story back in the mid-'70s when the Marshall plane crash happened. And they had to restart the entire football team, staff and everything, gone. They had to literally restart the Marshall football program from scratch. They had nothing. So, it's a great story. But as far as that goes, right now, they're just an annoying little brother. Yeah, I'd love to come to an Iron Bowl, both in Tuscaloosa and at Auburn, the Plains. I want to go to both of those. Like I said, all of them. But I want to go to certain stadiums for certain games. Like the Iron Bowl, whenever I do my Alabama Auburn visits, Iron Bowl for both. Same thing with, Ohio State, Michigan. I want it to be against the other team. I want it to be, when I go to the Horseshoe, I want it to be Ohio State, Michigan. When I go to the Big House, I want it to be Ohio State, Michigan. So I want to experience some rivalry games. That's a big deal to me. So, yeah, we're going to do that. All right, so the car line is starting to move, guys. I'm going to get off here, but like I said, we're going to get back and do a live show probably around 2:30. Continue the voting on ACC logos. So come back for that live show. Don't forget the rules. You comment in the chat section. That's one vote. If you super chat, then it counts for how many ever people are in the chat at that time, plus yourself. So basically, it locks that logo into that spot. And at any time, Sea-Dog doesn't know this because this wasn't a rule yesterday. At any time, you can vote a team in a certain place with a super chat, and it locks it in. So say you hate the logo of, well, I'm a West Virginia fan. Say I wanted to lock Pitt into last place. I would super chat Pitt last place. Pitt in last place or Pitt in 14th place, whatever. All you do is super chat the team and what place you want them in, and it won't even get voted on. It'll be locked. Done deal. So keep that in mind. Those are the rules. I'll be back on at 2:30. Hold on. Let's see what they're doing. All right, so they're about to come down, guys. I'll see y'all here in just a little bit. I appreciate y'all stopping by and talking with me while I'm in the car line. We'll see y'all here in just a little bit.